How you respond to people is how you persuade them. So this is really strange, but it's actually something that can literally make night and day difference in your sales call. So when you are selling people, of course you need to also be excited about your product, but you also need to understand that with your tonality, with your energy, and with how you respond to them, you're persuading the other person. Meaning that, for example, someone says that he's really hating his job, he's only making 1,000 a month, he can barely pay food and everything and all these things. If someone explains this with a laugh on his face, that's fine. But then the person might not be in the painful situation. So the person might not feel the emotions of pain. Well, it's actually pretty painful if you can't buy food, if you almost can't buy food. And so what you need to do in those cases, you need to respond to them so that they feel it's an issue. Meaning that, for example, they say like, yeah, like last month I was hard paying for food and everything. If you respond like, okay, yeah, I understand, that's good. That's a way to respond, but you're not really persuading them or influencing them. But if you respond on them in a different way, meaning you're responding like this, ooh, you can't pay food? What? That's really serious, yeah. Okay. So like if you answer them with such emotions, with such energy, you're transferring that energy to them and you persuade them into knowing that they have an issue. Because maybe they're telling it without emotions, but if you then explain to them or transfer the energy to them that it's actually really bad, they will be persuaded more and they will feel the pain more. Because eventually sales is of course a game of making sure that you can help the person. But in order to help the person, you need to also make sure they realize they actually have a problem, if they really have a problem, and you can really solve them. And one way to do this is to persuade them with your energy, with your tonality, and with how you react on what they say. Because some people might not label themselves as a problem, but if we respond on them in the best way possible, so that we can transfer the problem to them on how we feel about their situation, they will feel the pain as well, and they will feel the problem. And then eventually they sit in the pain, they feel it, and they're more likely to convert. Same goes with excitement in the pitch. Again, we persuade people with our energy, tonality, and how we actually act. I was always excited when I started selling our business, like our processes and everything. I was almost always excited when I was telling it, because I know it's like an insane process and like what we do, it's insane. But like, for example, my closers, they didn't really know the back end that well as me, and they weren't as excited as me about the product, of course, because I am the owner, I designed it, I know every single detail of it. And so eventually the closing rate went down a little bit because they didn't have the same excitement as me about the product that I actually transferred to the prospect. And so what we did is like, first of all, I teach them on how to actually transfer that energy and how to respond properly so they feel the pain or the energy about like the excitement. And so what we did regarding the excitement is literally we made sure they pronounced the things in a proper way so that the other prospect, the other person on the line might feel excited about it as well. Because eventually if you tell something with high energy and you're like, this is insane and this is really cool and everything, then you just transfer that energy. And because you're transferring that energy, they will feel those emotions as well. And that's in both sides. And so that's just a quick tip in order to make sure that you convert people at a higher level. Just transform the negative energy, even if they don't feel it yet, and the positive energy to your prospects. Because if you do so, they will feel more excited or they will feel more pain and they will be more likely to buy.